May I help you?
I want to buy a plane.
What do you want to do with the plane?
I want to use it to make boards nice and smooth. I saw a guy on YouTube make wispy shavings with one.
Oh, you want a smoothing plane?
Yes, that's what the guy on YouTube said his plane was.
I have a very nice plane here. It's a number 4.
Yes, that's the number of the plane that the guy on YouTube had.
This one is made by lie-nielsen. It will make very nice shavings and leave your board very smooth.
That sounds great. I'm going to make furniture with it.
That's a great idea. Woodworking is a great hobby.
I want to make furniture because I'm tired of having crappy furniture that is made overseas fall apart after having it for just a short while. I want the furniture I make to be passed down from generation to generation. I think people can appreciate that if they are educated about the differences, and then they will buy my furniture.
That is a great attitude. This lie-nielsen plane will certainly help you do that.
How much is the plane?
$300. If you want a version that comes in bronze, it's $350.
$300. Why is it so much money?
This plane is meticulously crafted, and it is excellent at smoothing a board.
But $300 is a lot of money. I saw a number 4 plane in a catalog that costs only $40.
That plane is cheaper, because the quality of the plane is not very good, and it is made overseas, where labor is cheaper. The lie-nielsen plane is an excellent plane, and is made in the USA, in Maine. You are supporting an American business, and your fellow American workers.
But $300 is a lot of money.
You are getting a much better quality plane for your money. A lie-nielsen plane will work right out of the box. You hardly have to do any setup to get it to work. With the other plane, you have to do a lot of work to get it to be usable.
But $300 is a lot of money.
I don't think you realize how much work it will take to get the cheaper plane to a usable state.
I'll do the work. $300 is a lot of money.
Look. First you have to flatten the sole. To do that you have to get a reference flat plate and sandpaper. The flat plate is going to cost you about $30. And the sole of the plane in the catalog is so out of flat that it will take you about 3 hours to get it flat enough to use. The lie-nielsen plane is checked to make sure that it is machined dead flat.
$300 is a lot of money. I'll do the work.
Then you have to deal with the body of the plane. The overseas factory, where this plane was made, just cranks them out as fast as they can. They don't even bother to clean the paint off of the machined surfaces, where the frog meets the body. So you either have to spend another hour cleaning those parts, or have a crappy plane that won't work right. Lie-nielsen takes the time to get that part right.
But $300 is a lot of money.
Then you have to sharpen the blade. The blade in the plane from the catalog is so bad that it will take you another 2 hours grinding the machining marks out of it. And it won't hold an edge. The lie-nielsen blades require hardly any work, and the edge will last you a long time.
But $300 is a lot of money.
And even after you've gotten the plane working, it probably won't hold the blade in place very well, because the quality of the machining and casting of the parts of the plane are so bad, you'll be fighting with it every time you use it. With a lie-nielsen plane, you won't have that aggravation.
$300 is still a lot of money.
I think you might be looking at this the wrong way. With the cheap catalog plane, you'll spend 6 hours and an extra $30 getting the plane into usable condition, all to save $230. The lie-nielsen plane will last you generations. Even if you keep the lie-nielsen plane for just 5 years, that works out to spending less than 75 cents a week for the pleasure of using a much nicer plane.
It's still a lot of money.
And even if you do decide to get rid of it, you can sell a lie-nielsen plane on eBay for almost what you paid for it, so you will lose hardly any money on it.
It's still a lot of money.
Oh my God. Are you listening to what you are saying? You said that you were tired of cheap crappy furniture that was made overseas and won't last. But you won't buy an excellent quality tool that is made in the USA, and that your great-grandchildren could easily wind up using, for less than the price of a can of pop a week over the life of the tool, even though it's a no-risk purchase, because you will be able to sell the tool for close to what you paid for it? And you still expect people to pay more for the furniture you make? Even though they could easily get by with a bookcase made of cinder blocks and 2x material from Home Depot?
It's still a lot of money.
I cannot fucking believe my ears. You know, it's fucking morons like you that are responsible for a goddamn Walmart in every fucking town in this country, filled with shitty stuff whose only value is that it's fucking cheaper than the last crappy thing that you bought just last year, because it's so goddamn cheap that it was a miracle that it lasted from the beginning of baseball season to the Super Bowl, and you still think you got a fucking bargain. because the crappy thing you bought to replace it was cheaper than the last shitty thing that you bought, and you still will be fucking puzzled because you still won't be able to figure out why your new thing will break down 6 months from now.
Maybe I will buy a plane at the flea market. There's a guy on a woodworking internet forum that says he can find number 4 planes at his local flea market for only $5.